Hello my dear students, welcome all of you in our PPS video lecture series, and I am Professor Bhumi Patil from LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Now in a previous lectures our second unit is completed, and today we are moving to the new unit, that is unit number 3, control structures. And this control structure is divided in a mainly two parts, decision making statement and looping statements. So in this unit we have to learn about the different decision making statements, or we can say that the conditional statements. Taking one simple example of a real life, in a current scenario everywhere the temperature testing is mandatory, and if the temperature is greater than 100, that indicates we have a symptoms of COVID, and otherwise we are safe. This type of example we are already discussed in our introduction of syllabus video. So this type of problem we can solve using this different decision making statements. Which topics we have to discuss in this units? Just like first the simple if, then if else, then nested if else, the second last is a else if later, and the last one is a switch statements. So total 5 different statements we have to learn, and move to the very first, that is simple if. Here if is nothing but where we use for a condition, and condition has main two parts, true and false, but the name is simple if, that only include the true parts, there is a no false part is there. And the syntax we have to follow for writing this theory is, first in a if, that is a keywords, obviously write it in a lower case, and inside round bracket we have to write the condition, and there is a no semicolon at the end, that you have to remember. And in a if part, in a curly bracket you have to just follow the true statements. If our condition is true, then we have to execute true statements, otherwise directly move to the next statements, that is our remaining logic, or we can say the remaining statements. Now understand it very well with a diagram, and here the first is a condition, so in a diamond shape we have to write that. So if the condition is true, then execute the true statements and directly move to the next statements. But suppose our condition is false, then there is a no use of false statements in a simple if, so directly we have to jump for a next statement and true statements will be skipped. So this is about the simple if. Now understand this with a example. Here I am taken the simple example to check whether the given number is even or odd. You all guys aware of the word even and odd, in your mathematics you are learn it. So even number is just, it is a divisible by 2, and odd number means it is a not divisible by 2. So how we can check it is even or odd? For that we have to use arithmetic operator modulo, that finds the remainder, and suppose my number is 5, then we have to check 5 modulo by 2. If the remainder is 0, means it is even number, but in this case 5 modulo 2, the remainder is not 0, so we can say that it is a odd number. So that type of logic we have to use for a simple if. So let's understand, first is obviously the header files that we have to include. After that the void main is there, and inside void main we have to declare the variables. Only we have to check for a single number, so the variable is integer num, and that number we have to read from the user. For that we have to use printf. In a printf we have to write enter number, that is one message that is display on our screen, and after that the scanf function that take data from the user, and in a scanf we have to write %d control string, because the data type is integer and only one time we have to write it, and then comma ampersand num. So this is about the input part. Now use our theory simple if. So put the keyword if, and in a bracket the condition, that is number modulo by 2 equal 0. If this condition is true, means our number is suppose 6, So 6 modulo by 2, the remainder is obviously 0, and this condition becomes true, and true part will be executed and the message is displayed like printf, it is an even number. So here the logic for an even number is completed, but suppose you want to check for an odd number, then what happen? This will work? No. For that we have to again check the condition and apply the theory simple if. So again we have to write if. In a if we have to write condition like number modulo by 2 not equal 0, then it is an odd number. So write like this and check for a output. So if we enter number 5, then what happen? Check the first condition, that is number is 5, 5 modulo by 2 equal 0? No, obviously it is a 1, and goes for a second part because this condition is false. Again check the second condition, that is 5 modulo by 2 not equal 0? Yes, because it is 1. So that part will be executed and the message will be displayed, it is an odd number. Now check for the another number, second output, that is enter number, and that is 6. What happened? First check the first condition, 6 modulo by 2 equal 0? Yes. So goes inside that if and just print the message, it is an even number. Also it checks the second condition, that is 6 modulo by 2, but it is not equal to 0, it becomes false. And last, the statement it is even number will be skipped. So likewise that our simple if will work. Now more about this simple if we will discuss in our practical also. Move to the second one, that is if else statements. Here in a if else statements, two part is there, but in a simple if the drawback is what? It consists of only one part, that is true. When you have a two requirements, true and false, then you have to apply if else. And syntax for this theory is, in a if we have to write condition, if it is true then true statement will be executed, and now use the word else. If this condition is false, then our cursor goes to the else part, and inside else our false statements will be executed, and jump to the remaining statement, that is next statements. How it will work? Understand with our diagram. First is a condition. So in a diamond we have to write it, and it has two parts, true and false. If it is true, then true statement will be executed and directly move to the next statements. That indicates at a time only one statement will be executed in this theory. If this condition is false, then we have to go for a false statements and move to the next statements. So this is the flow how if else work. Now understand with a simple same example to check the given number is even or odd. The same logic we have to apply, just change the theory concept. So first we have to input the number, that is integer num, then printf that number and scanf %d and num. If part is same, so same logic we are applying. If number modulo by 2 equal 0, that indicates it is even number. But here no need of writing if again, because we have a false part in a else portion. So write just the else instead of second time if, and in a else the same message will be like printf, it is an odd number. Same output we will discuss here. If you enter 5, then our first condition becomes false, and directly move to the else part and the message will be displayed, it is an odd number. But suppose I enter number 6, then our first condition becomes true and just print the message, it is even number, and move to the next statements. I hope you guys understand these two concepts, simple if and if else, very well. Also we can do the practical for these two theory. Now welcome to our practical session, and first we are trying to find the maximum from a two number using our first theory, that is simple if statements. Previously we are discussing about the even and odd numbers, and now the same theory we can apply for finding maximum from two numbers. First we have to write the header files, that is has include stdio.h, and after header file the main function will be start from where our execution is started for C program. So that is void main. Inside void main, now there is two part. First is the declarations. How many variables we need here? The two numbers. So take two variables, integer a comma b and the semicolon. After that, now we want to take the data from the user, and for that we have to write the message in a printf statements. Printf, the message is like enter two numbers a comma b. After this message we have to use input functions. This printf functions done what? It simply just display the message like enter two numbers a and b. But now how we can read the data? Using scanf function. So put the scanf function, and inside scanf we have to write %d. Now it is for only one numbers? No, it is for two numbers. So you have to write %d two times. So write %d two times and then comma end of a and end of b, that is two numbers. This is about our input part. Now apply the theory, that is simple if. So first we have to write the keyword if, and in a round bracket we have to put the condition. Now what is the condition for maximum? It is a greater than b obviously. So put that condition, and in a if part in a curly bracket we have to write the true statements. So what is our output? If a is greater than b, that indicates our a is max. So just print in a printf the message a is max. Clear? After that, if part, if the suppose b is max, then how we can write it? Because here a is max, message will be displayed. So for that now we have to apply simple if again. So write if part again after the first if, and in a if again you can put the condition like b is greater than a. Yes, then we have to go inside that part and just print the message, that is printf b is max. So this is the logic for finding maximum from a two numbers. Clear? Now save this program and execute it to check any error or not. So you can compile using F9. Just see here there is a no error. So we can directly run it and see the output. First the message will be displayed like enter two numbers a comma b. Which value you want? Suppose I want a equals 10, then print 10 and b equals 20. So put the value 20. So what happened? The answer is b is max, because our first condition a greater than b becomes false. So check the second condition, second if part, that is b is greater than a. Now it becomes true, 20 is greater than 10. So the message is b is max. Now change, same program we are running, executing using different values, and here the a is suppose 20 and b is 10. So in this case our output is now changed, that is a is max. Why? Because our first condition is true, 20 is greater than 10. So a is max, and second condition becomes false. So skip that part. Now the same program we are executing using the another concept, that is if else statements. So simply change here the title. Instead of now simple if, what we have to do? We have to change the theory, that is if else. Now if you remember in a theory part, what we are just changed, instead of two if, now the second if will be discarded and put directly else. So whole program will be same, only we have to change here in a second if, and instead of that if we have to put just the keyword else. This is the concept of if else. If else have two parts, true and false. Run this program. Same message, enter two number a and b, and suppose I enter 20 and 30. In this case the answer is b is max. So same program you can run using simple if and using if else, but most of the cases we are using if else because it is very simpler than a simple if. I hope you guys understand these two concepts, simple if and if else, very well in a practical and in a theory. If you like this video, then thumbs up. If you think this video will help some of your friends, then do share this video with them. Also, you can subscribe my channel, so when I upload new video, you get a notifications. If you have any doubt, any query, feel free contact me. Thank you.